Now directly we will start the syllabus. Okay, I will start the presentation. Okay, what is the title of your subject? Title of your subject is the Solid and Hazardous Waste Management. Solid and Hazardous Waste Management. Okay, now solid waste management included in a section 1 and hazardous waste management included in a section 2. Okay, that we have discussed in the last lecture. So we will start the section 1, unit 1, first unit we will start. Second, solid and hazardous waste management. In that first unit, section 1, first unit is about the solid waste management, functional outline of refuse, storage, transportation of refuse, analysis, composition, and quantity of refuse, economic aspects of refuse collection and transport, solid waste in industries, common types of solid waste, classification, collection, and transportation, concept of biomedical and hazardous waste management. Okay. Now, we will see, we'll start with the first of what is meant by solid waste or how to define the solid waste. In the last year, for the while we were studying about the wastewater engineering, one of the chapter we have studied and the fundamental part, most of the fundamental part we have covered in that particular chapter. Okay, here solid waste definition we will see what is meant by solid waste. Simply, we can say solid waste are any discarded or abandoned material. Solid waste can be solid, liquid, semi-solid, or containerized gaseous material. Are you getting? We can say, I request keep on writing while discussion because I already told you this material will not be available with you in any of the book. So, solid waste are any discarded or abandoned material. It may be solid, it may be liquid, it may be semi-solid or containerized gaseous material. Basically, or simply I can say what is meant by solid waste. Solid waste is nothing but a not useful solid material, unused solid material. Okay, yesterday's newspaper, broken glass, broken chair, broken furniture, waste vegetables, then some of the containers, wrappers, packaging material, eggshells, pebbles, everything which is not in use currently can be considered as a solid waste. Okay, now solid or semi-solid non-soluble material including gases and liquid in containers. Here maybe you may be thinking how madam is saying solid waste can be solid, liquid or semi-solid. Okay, you may be thinking about this, or if you have not thought about this, I request you to thought. Liquid waste we cannot say simply it is a solid waste, but if that liquid waste is filled in any of the container and that entire container is considered as a waste, at that time we can say it is a solid waste. When liquid is in a free form, we cannot say it is a solid waste. Okay, please correct yourself. Same with the gas. If gas is filled within a particular container, then we can say it is a solid waste. Otherwise, it will not be the solid waste. Okay, so please clear your concept over there. Solid or semi-solid non-soluble material including gases and liquid in containers such as agricultural refuse, demolition waste. Okay, we many of the times deconstruction of the buildings, is it? So demolition of the buildings. So that material, most of the times this material is not being used at that place, but this can be used, identified as a solid waste. That is the different thing. You can go for the reuse of the material, that we are going to see how to monitor the solid waste, how to manage the solid waste. In that, at that time, I will explain about the solid waste what is to be done with the solid waste. Then mining residues, municipal garbage, and sewage sludge. These are the different types of solid waste examples, along with the examples which just now I have explained, like the broken glass, broken furniture, vegetable waste, yesterday's unused food, then electronic equipments, broken electronic equipments, okay, like this, clothes, you can say, containers, wrappers, okay. So everything will be considered as a solid waste. So one more definition I would like to request you to note down in your book. This is, solid waste comprises all the waste arising from human and animal activities and normally solid, and that are discarded as useless or unwanted. Yesterday's newspaper, whether we are going to read today, or day before yesterday's newspaper, whether you are going to read, no, it will be useless at that stage. You are going to reuse for another purpose, that is different story. We are not thinking about that. We are just thinking about, it is unused material, not unwanted material. What is wanted now? You want new newspaper for the particular day. If it is yesterday's one, it will be useless at that particular situation. Then solid waste management may be defined as the discipline associated with solid waste management may be defined as the discipline associated with the control of generation, storage, collection, transfer, and transport, processing, and disposal of waste in a manner that is accord with the best principles of public health, economics, engineering, and conservation. This is the particular and conceptual definition of solid waste. Solid waste management. What is meant by solid waste? Solid waste comprises all the waste arising from human and animal activities and are normally solid, and that are discarded as useless or unwanted. Then the question is, what is meant by solid waste management? It can be defined as the discipline associated with the control of generation. Control of generation. A lot of things are included in this definition of solid waste management, and that's why I have highlighted with the different color. Control of generation, storage, collection, transfer and transport, processing and disposal of waste in a manner that is in accord with the best principles of public health, economics, engineering and conservation. Whatever the process you are following to make environment clean, or to stick with the principles in respect of public health, in respect of economics of the country, are known as the solid waste management. Okay, in that, control of generation is the first step. What is meant by control of generation? At the source itself, you are supposed to reduce the rate of generation. Means what? You are supposed to reuse the if possible, you are supposed to reuse the material. Are you getting? Control of generation is nothing but the reduction of generation rate, and reduction of generation rate will be possible if you are reusing the material. I will give you an example that as we have discussed just now about the newspaper. Yesterday's newspaper is not in use because it is now it is useless, but and it becomes a solid waste. If 1 month you are collecting such a papers, a bundle of waste material is getting collected. But instead of that, if you are reusing that material for another purpose, as a wrapping purpose, or sometimes cleaning purpose, then it will not be a waste. It will not be a waste. Means you are controlling the generation rate. if 10 kg of solid waste with a newspaper every month you are generating, then for a year you may be increasing more than 100 kg of solid waste. But if you are reusing that solid waste at that place itself, that means you are controlling the generation. We can take the example of plastics. Okay, plastic carry bags we are carrying over here for different purposes, and after one use you are throwing it and buying the new one, is it? So if you are buying new one, then the earlier one you should throw it, is it? Otherwise there will be a lot of solid waste in your house itself. So that's why you will try to collect the entire waste and you will try to dispose it into the nearby dustbins or the municipality dustbin. Means you are increasing rate of, you are not controlling the generation rate. But against that, if you are controlling a generation rate by reusing the same plastic bags for many purposes, it means you are controlling the generation rate. Are you getting? So many such examples we can take in respect of controlling the generation rate. Suppose vegetable waste, you are generating huge amount of vegetable waste. But if you are using a biogas or such type of equipment or such type of technology which can be converted the degradable solid waste into manure, in that case, at that place itself you are controlling the generation rate. With respect to air pollution, in the last semester I told you, air pollution must be controlled at the source, because once it is emitted into the atmosphere, it is quite difficult to control it. Is it? Likewise, with respect to solid waste, once you are not controlling it at the source, it is becoming uneasy, irritating, a hectic job to separate it out and then control it. Better if you control it at the source. Then the storage, you should make proper arrangement for the storage. It will be one of the important step into the solid waste management. Then collection from each individual, one arrangement, one key holder should be there which can be collecting the solid waste from the different places. Otherwise it will be spreading over the different area, and from that most of the solid waste is organic waste, and usually the organic waste gets decomposed in presence of moisture, and when it is decomposing, it is creating unhealthy, unhygienic environment and spreading the diseases. So to avoid that, you need to provide the proper collection system for the solid waste from an each individual generator. Okay. Then transparent transport. In respect of transparent transport also, you are supposed to take very important step. There should be a proper transfer or transport. Closed conduit, open one will keep on spreading into the solid waste may be collected and it will be transported towards the another end of city. During that passage, it will be keep on spreading the decomposition, spreading the diseases, virals into the residential area. That's why for the transportation or for the transfer of solid waste, there is required to have the closed conduits, which will avoid the spreading of disease into the society. Then processing and disposal of waste. Processing in the sense you can segregate the separately solid waste as decomposable, non-decomposable, and hazardous waste. Hazardous waste, we will talk about hazardous waste in the section 2. Then decomposable and non-decomposable. If non-decomposable there are there, like the glass, metals, plastic, these are the non-decomposable. Then we should think about such type of material, whether it is possible to resend, reuse or not. And if it is possible, we should go for. Otherwise, it can be non-degradable part remain for a longer period. Whereas the decomposable material, you should plan for the processing of decomposable material like composting, vermicomposting, then Bangalore method, Indore method. By using this method, you can go for the composting. Then landfilling, you can go for the secured or the sanitary landfilling. Such types of techniques you need to identify, appropriate techniques you need to identify, and then you can apply for a particular waste. Okay, so this is about the solid waste management definition. I hope you have written in your notebook. If not, I will give you 1 minute to cover it. Please. Over. I think you have done. We'll go to the next point. Okay, typical municipal solid waste generation rate. What is the typical municipal solid waste generation rate? It is, for a small town, it is 100 gram per capita per day or per person per day. More, greater than that, it will be in the range of 300 to 400 gram per person per day. And for the larger one, it will be more than or equal to 500 gram per capita per day. In general, varies between 0.3 to 0.6 kg per capita per day. I told you in the last time also, or you can imagine the solid waste generation rate. A heap of solid waste will be gathered within very few months if you are generating solid waste with a given rate. And if you are not providing any kind of management or for the process for the control of solid waste generation rate, is it? So here also given the example, total waste generation in India is at the rate of 0.45 kg per person. Is it? It is per person. So what is the population? 1 crore. What is this count? It is giving 0.54 metric ton per day. This much volume is going to be generated in a day. Then you can imagine what will happen with respect to year. It is given 197.1 metric ton per annum. Huge amount of solid waste is going to be generated. Heap of solid waste are going to be found, and then where to destroy it, where to deposit it? On the land. And you know, value of land is very important, and then that important resource is going to be consumed unnecessary for the storage of solid waste. So instead of that, if you manage properly, if you are reducing the rate of solid waste at the source, if you are providing proper processes for the disposal of solid waste, then it will be easy to control the rate of solid waste. Okay, and then we can save our earth from the converting it into a pit or converting it into a dustbin. Okay, whether do you want to convert it into dustbin? Do you want to convert it into dustbin or not? Is it? So please write down this table. Okay. Now we'll go to the next one. That is, we will see the classification of solid waste. Okay. Classification of solid waste. Solid waste definition. We have discussed now about the solid waste definition. But basically, all solid waste arising out of human and animal activity discarded as useless or unwanted are classified into two types, that is, homogeneous types and heterogeneous types. Homogeneous in the sense, a same type of material will be there. If it is same type of material together is there, it will be easy to control, it will be easy to dispose, or it will be easy to decide the treatment process. Suppose from agricultural area, what will be the trash material? Leaves will be there from same plant or the same crop. Or suppose industry is there. From that industry, whatever is the solid waste is going to be generated, it will be same for longer period. So you can decide treatment. Means with respect to solid waste treatment, the way we have discussed about the water supply engineering and wastewater engineering about the type of solid or type of waste according to the characteristics of the solid, we can decide the treatment. Same here also, we can decide the treatment. If you are knowing that waste material is a heterogeneous type of material, then you can decide the treatment process and then you can go for the disposal. But if it is heterogeneous, means from the municipality area it is getting collected, at that time what you are going to do, it will be quite difficult to understand what is the nature, what type of different materials are there. And that's why we as a civilian people must understand the importance to segregate the solid waste at the source itself. Then it will be quite easy to handle it, to decide the process, or to go for the further managements in respect of treatment. So that's why we should keep an habit with us to segregate the solid waste at the source. Because when it is at the source, then it is easy to control. At that stage, it is in a fresh form. Am I right? At that stage, it is in a fresh form. But as time passes, it becomes septic, unhygienic. And at that time, it becomes difficult to handle it. Means if you are not handling properly, someone else has to go to handle it. आणि मग असं वाटतं का तुम्हाला की तुम्ही केलेली घाण दुसऱ्याने कुणीतरी काढावी? Definitely not, is it? So to avoid that, we should keep an habit to separate it out the source itself. Then source-based classification. What is the source-based classification? From the domestic area or the residential area, whatever the waste is generating, it is known as the domestic waste or the residential waste. It is originating from household activities like the cooking, cleaning, repairs, redecoration, packaging, then old furnishing, etc. And the components. What type of components will be included into the domestic and residential waste? These are nothing but the waste food, waste vegetable peels, then plastics, clothes, ashes, empty containers, old books, writing newspapers, then bulky items such as home appliances, then broken electronic things, then old clothes which are not in use, everything. Means it is having a heterogeneous characteristics. Waste generating from the domestic or the residential area is having the heterogeneous characteristics which include anything. And in that, or simply in a scientific language, we can say which will include decomposable, non-decomposable, recyclable, degradable, non-degradable type of solid waste. Then if you separate it out at the source itself, it will not create a big problem in the future or for the next process. But if you are not separating out and collecting entire waste in a one bin itself, then it will be create a problem in a in a future. So this is the first type of classification, source-based classification. Someone has written a message. Let me see. What is this? Domestic, agricultural, industrial, municipal waste. Yeah, your classifications you may be mentioning. Waste types. Yes, you are classifying. Yeah. Okay, domestic, industrial, agricultural. These are the different types of classification. Yes, I'm going to explain these further. And the commercial waste, commercial activity, whatever the commercial activity we perform in the offices, stores, restaurants, hotels, markets, that can be commercial waste. What are the different types of commercial waste? What type of things, what type of waste is getting generated from the commercial area? These are nothing but leftover food, plastic, clothes, ashes, empty container, glass, metals, etc. These will be the waste generating from the commercial area. Are you getting? The way we are coming to colleges, we are doing the same activity, whatever we are doing at the home. Most of them maybe there will be not the food preparation, probably, but still there will be the some arrangements, canteens, hotels, or the mess you can say will be available, and there also food waste generation rate will be there. So one thing you, with respect to, I'm going to explain later on, but okay. Next one is the institutional waste. In the institutional waste, all solid waste originating from school, universities, hospitals, research institution, public building, etc. All solid waste generating from the schools, universities, hospitals, research institutions, public buildings will be considered as the institutional waste. Okay, most of the time in the institutional waste there will be a paper, plastic, glass. Plastic in the sense use of paper, pen, carry bags, etc. will be the plastics, or the bottles, then the glass. It will be, this type of waste will be identified under the institutional waste. Then the municipal waste resulting from the municipal activities and services, street waste, dead animals, market waste, abandoned vehicles, combination of domestic, institutional, and commercial waste. Okay, municipal waste, under municipal waste, whatever the waste generating from the municipal activities or services, like in early morning you are observing street waste is street cleaning is going on, and if dead animals are found on the, that will also be considered as the municipal waste. At the marketplaces there will be a market waste. Then sometimes some of the things getting damaged, or the vehicles, from the vehicle, some of the part during the accident, some of the parts are broken, parts are throwing on the roadside, that will be also comes under the municipal waste. Is it? It is the combination of domestic, institutional, and commercial waste. Okay, just now I came into my many of you may be from the Pandharpur city or the nearby area. In Pandharpur city, one should understand the importance of solid waste management in a Pandharpur city. Along with the regular activity, there is a event after every 4 months, and usually 2 big events after every 6 months in a Pandharpur due to Lord Vithala, and that is known as the Wari. For that particular Wari, lot of pilgrims are visiting to the Pandharpur, and what practice they are doing while going to take darshan of Lord Vithala, they keep their shoes or the chappals outside, and they're going leaving the place of Lord Vithala from the another side. At that time, they are not able to come back and collect their chappals or the shoes. But they are thinking now, has been converted into a tradition that If you are losing your chappals or the shoes at the place of Lord Vichala, it will be kind of one of the donation or the one ethic they are feeling. हे चांगलं असतं की असं आपण चप्पल सोडून जाणं. And that way